Lakers for life extended hitter. The Lakers get busy on draft night in the second round. Rob Pelinka made some aggressive moves today. I know we've been fiending for a trade. We've been fiending for something with everything that's gone down in the NBA. But this was the first step, and he did what he had to do. We had the 55th pick to start the day in the draft for the second round. And with cash considerations, Rob trades all the way up to 36, which is very aggressive because he traded from 55 to 45, then 45 to 36. So we really wanted the player and we really wanted to move up. And with that 36th pick, we draft Adou Thiero from Arkansas, who's about a 6'7" wing, 6'8" with shoes, muscular frame, a 7-foot wingspan. And it's something we need on this roster. And we're going to get into the strengths, the weaknesses, but we go with the wing. There were centers on the draft board. There was that center from Cretan that went earlier in the second round. But we end up with the wing, and I'm not mad at it. There's been talks of us, signing a Capella with the TPMLE, trading for a center. Wings, especially these archetypes of wings, are important. We saw that throughout the finals between OKC and Indiana, Minnesota. We saw it with the Knicks, right? Wings are a premium in the NBA. Now, what Adou brings in everything I've seen so far, he's powerful, and you're watching the highlights right now. He's powerful, he's explosive. This guy can finish very strong at the rim, and it's both in transition as well as in space by slashing, cutting, line drives to the basket. Again, he's got that 7-foot wingspan with a very big muscular frame. And again, he could drive to the basket, very strong finisher. He can finish in transition and cuts. But what I like most about him outside of, we'll get back into his finishing ability and his athleticism, but he's a very versatile defender. He's very active. He's disrupted. He averaged 1.6 steals at Arkansas along with his 15 points per game. He's averaged 6 rebounds as well. So he has a high motor and he's a strong rebounder. And when we break that down, those are premium characteristics for a wing in the NBA. That's an important side of the ball. And we saw how desperately we needed that in the playoffs, especially when you have a Luka and a Reeves as your backcourt, right? And we're not going to say that he's going to be an immediate rotation player, but his size and frame is NBA ready. And we'll see what kind of development happens. Does his motor sustain at the NBA level? Does he have IQ to handle defensive coverages in the NBA? The scouting report says he does get over aggressive and can get lost at times. I'll take over aggressive, but if we can hone it in and he has the IQ for that development, that's going to be very important. Again, the closest thing we have to a perimeter defender right now is Vando. And we know Vando cannot finish worth his life in the lane. He can't dunk. He can't hit layups. He can't even catch the ball. So this player, Adou, is already a step up from that. But we see how important when Vando's rebounding, when Vando's locking up the best perimeter defender on the other side of the ball, how much of a difference it makes. And I think JJ misused Vando quite a bit last season. We'll get into that in another pod. But we see at least a very minimum floor of what he could be. And he does the things that Vando does very well. I mean, outside of finishing from an offensive standpoint, he's not a creator. He's not a playmaker, which is okay. He's also what is a red flag and why he went into the second round and maybe not the first round, even though they say he's a steal, is that he cannot shoot the ball. He shot about 28% from three, 59% from the free throw line, which is an indicator on if this person could be a good shooter at the next level. That's not great. You always want two-way players, right? But if he was a true two-way player, he would, again, be in the first round. Hell, he might even be a lottery player, right? But it's something that could hopefully develop over time. I mean, we've seen star NBA players that haven't been able to develop an outside shot. So saying he can right away, That's probably a bit far-fetched. So we'll see how the development on the offensive side goes. But again, when you have a Luka, when you have an Austin Reeves, if you have a guy that can lock down the best players on the other end, the perimeter players, and can at least move slash cut and then finish within a half court offense, that is still a very effective player, especially in our system with how much gravity is going to go to the LeBrons, the Lucas, the Reeves, right? If he can get up to a rotation level player early. So I do like that he can finish. He averaged 15 points per game, and that was a huge jump from his second to third year. He's a Calipari player. He came to Kentucky, went to Arkansas with Calipari. So he has a pedigree, right? He has a pedigree, but again, the shooting is going to be a concern. Now, again, we don't have a lot of these players on our roster. I like that we're getting more athletic. I mean, he does look promising. What I kind of get to is it's the intangibles, right? What does his IQ look like? Does he have the capacity to want to develop? Is that motor a real thing? Is he a hard worker? Is he going to take the G League seriously, right? That's where the development is going to come. And this is where you make those wings that you cash in on. I mean, Max Christie, we got in the second round. This could be, he's obviously a different player, but that level of trajectory where he can be a rotation player in due time. But then it goes to the flip side. Are we going to invest in his development? JJ Redick has shown that he does not really develop young players. We kind of hit a ceiling with Dalton Connect. JJ kind of gave up on him for IQ purposes, perhaps, and he couldn't play defense. JJ likes hard-nosed defenders, so if Adou can prove that, maybe he can get some spot minutes in the NBA because his size is NBA ready. But do we put him in a true development program? Do we get him reps? Does he take the G League seriously? That's going to be really important. And JJ Redick is a big factor in that, right? How he sees him on the floor, and what he does to give him the repetition or the guidance on how to continue to develop so that we can turn him into something, right? I really hope that we can double down on this because, again, these types of players, if you could get halfway there from a shooting perspective, they help. They can get you through a season. I mean, we saw how effective Jordan Goodwin was. He's not a big three-point shooter, developed that a bit during the season, but he hustled and played defense, right? And Adou is actually bigger than Goodwin. So I'd say, from everything I've read, he is a steal, right? I think we did well. Rob showed he was aggressive. And again, you can't get enough of wings in the NBA. So we're taking a crack at it. We'll get him on a two-way. I'm not mad at it. We'll see how he is. More reports probably to come. Like it or hate it, drop a comment and debate it.